This is the way they subjugate you and keep you passive and down so they can carry on taking off with all the money, all the wealth, all the resources, and have no rights and no laws for them. Meanwhile, we have nothing.
Take the first step towards online privacy. Get NordVPN.
The world has failed, I tell you. The world has failed yet again.
And it seems very much to me like you've been right all along, and they're doing it all on purpose to bring in this
Great Reset
Orwellian nightmare.
All along.
This is the way they subjugate you and keep you passive and down so they can carry on taking off with all the money, all the wealth, all the resources, and have no rights and no laws for them. Meanwhile, we have nothing. That's serfdom, as far as I'm concerned. And we have to be very worried about it. And the media are not telling you so. If you're still watching the BBC, why? Why? Do you like being lied to? Do you enjoy being lied to? Do you switch them off? Come on. Start going to independent avenues.
For the acknowledgement, the aspects of the Great Reset. Here we go. So the climate change agenda, the idea that carbon dioxide drives climate change, complete fraud and bogus. Go look out how the Milankovitch cycles, the magnetosphere, the sun, cosmic radiation, tectonic plates, ICTZ, and all the other factors that go towards shaping the Earth's climate. Then also open borders. Open borders didn't work for India. It didn't work for Native America. It didn't work for Tasmania. Those peoples didn't have any say on all the people who were coming in that destroyed religion, destroyed language, destroyed India's industry, destroyed culture. We have to have a right about who comes in. No borders. You don't have any borders. If you have open borders, you don't have a country. Then also the LGBTQ, the trans agenda, because then if I don't know whether I'm a boy or a girl, a male or a female, my sense of identity is so lost, I become easy to manipulate. The whole idea about LTNs and ULEZ in order to restrict our movement, they're going to be bringing in restrictions on air travel next year, right? That's the timetable. So we don't get to fly abroad because of carbon dioxide, never mind that carbon dioxide is plant food, right? Then also the WEF are owned by, they own Labour, they own Tory, they own the other parties, and then town boards and the citizens' committees. You know about the citizens' committees, citizen assemblies that Labour are proposing? They will pick people, appoint people who will then shape policy for the MPs to enact, therefore bypassing democratic accountability. They're setting up town boards. Town boards will be running local government, and they won't be elected, they'll be appointed. So the government are doling out money for that. The censorship that's going on, the online speech bill or something, 1 year for an influencer for posting misinformation, but unless they're a regulated outlet, in which case they can post as much misinformation as they like. And the emaciation of small businesses, the largest employer in Britain, because small businesses mean you don't get to have an independent livelihood, and people don't get to be flourish. The attack on religion, whether it's Islam or Christianity, whatever it is, the attack on families through the trans agenda, and also the attack on farming, and rewilding. We must let the country rewild and flourish and let nature flourish. Well, how are we supposed to feed our people? How are we supposed to feed people without farmland? How are we supposed, the promotion of electric vehicles and the demonization of hydrocarbons? Isn't it no surprise whatsoever, Gordon, that the continent that is a net importer of hydrocarbons is telling the rest of the world, no fossil fuel for you, no development for you in Tanzania, no development for you, Bangladesh. No, you're going to be as poor as we're going to be because we have no energy in Europe. It is European imperialism for the 21st century.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're saying there, Rich, but come on. Farming is the number one cause of climate change and pollution. Oh, no, wait, that's war, isn't it? That's the United States military. That's the number one.
That's just a conspiracy theory. War war is very good for the environment. Everybody knows.
Doesn't that one thing there, doesn't that just one thing there, just say to you, I mean, you and I actually disagree on the climate issue, but you have moved me somewhat over the years in our talks. This is great. This is why we should do. People on who disagree should talk.
Yes,
but I refuse to believe that they're serious about climate change when they don't ever call out the number one polluter as the number one cause of it. I mean, Greta Thunberg, in my opinion, she's never called that out as far as I'm concerned.
Probably she's got 9 cars. You know that she's got 9 cars. She has 9 cars.
She's got 9 cars. 9 cars. Really?
Yes.
Is that true?
9 cars. Yes. There had to be a disclosure about her wealth, and she's got loads of money. Loads of money.
Never connected the United States being the number one source of pollution on the planet, and it's not even close. She hasn't connected that. That's what never called that out.
But Gordon, it's the hypocrisy. I don't get how people don't see the hypocrisy. They don't. You know, like for the lockdowns, like the G7 meeting in Cornwall, how the great and the good didn't have to wear masks, but the servants did. The servile people, the plebeians, the serfs, right? The slave.
I like how they all flew into Scotland in the G20 to solve climate change on their private jets. That was a good one. That one. Well, come on.
Well, the latest one in Dubai, you know, private jets for them and you know, walking for us. Now the ULEZ, they've said, I don't know who it was, but I saw it this week. But one of them said that the non-compliant vehicles should be sent to Ukraine for the war effort. So it's all right if they emit pollutants in Ukraine. That doesn't damage the environment, but we can't have them in London.
Is that called offsetting your carbon credits?
Oh, it's
by
just
giving all the
insane.
gas to war.
No, it's just on the climate thing. If they were really, really serious about climate change, like tackling it, instead of building this surveillance system, and now they want to bring it to Belfast, right? Instead of building this surveillance system that tracks people's movements because they want to bring in paper mile, they'd plant trees. Everybody loves trees. Trees are low maintenance. They keep the temperature cool. They foster wildlife. They're cheap. No, we have to have surveillance. And we have to end farming because, you know, I don't know if you've seen the stuff that if you grow your own food, that apparently produces 5 times more carbon dioxide, growing your own food, than farming does. So don't grow your own food. Eat insects, industrially produced insects, because that's there's no issue there for the environment. And Bill Gates' synthetic meat. Come on.
Rich, listen, I'm, as you know, now I'm on the fence on the climate issue. As you know, you've dragged me from the other side. You've got me on the set of the fence, which is all credit to you. And you did it, you bastard, with logic and reasoned arguments. So I should really stop talking to you. It's just, but I don't really know what's driving it or whether it is a thing. But what I do know is,
I'll tell you.
What I do know is this, though, mate. Us eating crickets is not going to change the weather.
It's not going to, and us paying more tax and walking 15 minutes is not going to change the weather. Why are they using carbon dioxide? Did I ask you? Did I say how much of the atmosphere is carbon dioxide? Do you remember?
It's tiny percent, wasn't it? 0 point something.
0.04%. Whoops, a little error there. It's actually 0.00004%. 400 parts per million. If you have 100,000 people, right? That's all the carbon dioxide. Do you know how much of that is down to human beings?
No.
1 in 100,000.
That's massive. We should put the price of plastic bags up immediately.
We should stop breathing. 1 in 100,000, right? So that's the amount that we contribute. Now, here's why they're using carbon dioxide. And the WF have come out and say that, and that incredible humanitarian Tony Blair is in support of this idea, right? And we all know if Tony Blair's for it, we all know where to stand, right? It makes it really clear, right? So you have a biometric ID. So you have a biometric ID, which is the whole point of the injections, a digital wallet, and a central bank digital currency, which is programmable. You attach a carbon tracker to it. Why are they doing carbon dioxide? It's a proxy for human activity. You can then gauge how much carbon dioxide I've consumed by eating steak, how much carbon dioxide I've consumed by traveling in a car, by traveling by bicycle, how much carbon dioxide I've consumed by growing plants. They can make anything up because carbon dioxide is essential. We are carbon-based life forms. The whole planet runs on carbon.
Meanwhile, and I'm guessing, meanwhile, people like Bill Gates and rich people who, you know, they won't have to alter their lifestyles at all.
They
They'll
can
just
buy carbon offsets.
plant a few forests, and they can carry on.
Yeah, they can buy carbon offsets. Right? That's the whole thing. What it does, it turns life into a commodity. So Bill Gates can say, we need to build these great big machines to take carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. Well, there's nothing more efficient than plants. Farmers can buy, for their greenhouses, carbon dioxide generators that increase the atmosphere in the greenhouse to 1,000 parts per million. Why? Well, you have the right temperature, you have enough moisture, plants grow like crazy, and they grow really quick. And then you have a cow coming along, eating the grass, and it converts that carbon dioxide into organic matter, into meat, more efficiently than any carbon dioxide extractor that Bill Gates can build or use. And
You know, people who grow cannabis plants in like a tent at home. You know what they put in their tent to fatten up the buds, and do you know what they inject into the tent?
No, CO2.
Carbon dioxide.
Oh my God, they're destroying the planet. But you grow plants, you destroy the planet.
Don't ask me how I know that, everybody.
I'm sure a friend told you. You know, you heard it or you read it somewhere because you're a great journalist and you do lots of research.
He's
Right?
my mate.
That's why carbon dioxide. I can link it to your ID, your digital wallet, your CBDC, and then I can track your activity. It becomes a proxy for human activity.
These are scary times, mate. These are scary times.
Well, so just to finish on a positive note, they are failing. They are absolutely failing because we don't hear about the farmers' protests, how incredibly massive they are. There's the anti-war movement.
They're Spain, they're Italy, they're Holland, they're Germany.
Yep, and also the movement against immigration. Now, this is a difficult one for you and me, right? Because we're not racist. But I see,
but you and I do understand that uncontrolled mass immigration causes huge amounts of problems. It always has done in history.
Yeah, I don't know if you know what's going on in Ireland. I've done quite a few videos in Ireland.
Yeah, I've heard the
20% migrant. 20% migrant from Georgia, most of them from Georgia, the biggest run from Georgia. Ireland is a homogenous nation. It's not an imperialist nation like Britain was. They bring in all these military age men. And it's not like Ireland is flourishing and it needs the workers. No, people are struggling because they've been printing loads of money and devaluing the euro, right? So people are struggling. So then you have these alien arrivals, these migrants who are now competing for the same resources as the local people, and it destroys family and culture and creates conflict.
They've got a plan for them, Rich. They've got a plan for those military age men that are coming in the country. Do you know what it is?
Yes.
They're going to put them in the military.
Yep.
They can say you can go in the military and you'll get citizenship. It's the plot of Starship Troopers.
I don't know if you've heard the Kalegi plan. The whole idea of replacing white people. They want to replace white people in Europe with people from other parts of the world because they figure that people from Africa and the Middle East and Asia will be more compliant because they're less used to democracy. So that's why there's this anti-white agenda. This whole idea that BLM have that, Gordon, you're racist because you're a white person. No, Gordon may be racist if after a critical examination of various philosophies, he adopts that ideology, but it's got nothing to do with his skin color. Because that's the whole thing, that I'm a particular way because of my skin color. No. Being white doesn't make you racist. Being white just means Gordon has to take more care in the sun than I do. That's all it means. Also means I have to work harder at getting the same amount of vitamin D that you get, Gordon.
It took me a long time to get this tan, mate, I tell you. It really did.
My wife is very fair. She gets in 20 minutes on a cloudy day in Brighton when it takes me 2 hours on a sunny day.
My missus is the opposite to me. She'll lie in the sun for 8 hours if she can all day long. So.
Yeah, we have to work hard. Gordon, absolutely fabulous talking to you. Really, really enjoy it. We should do this again. Glad that you're back. And GordonDimmack.com and then my links, because Gordon, you can post this on your channels as well, right?
I'll put clips on TikTok as well.
Yep. Everybody, thank you so much. Please share this video. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.